Fresh update from Fabrizio Romano on Arsenal's pursuit of Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. It has been reported that a bid has been submitted. The first one quickly rebuffed and turned down by Lazio. But a number of reports, firstly from the Standard, stating that Arsenal could now return with a second bid. This has also been corroborated by reports from Italy today that suggest that Arsenal are ready to submit a brand new offer for the Lazio midfielder. Now, this is a player that has long been linked with the Premier League. His agent has been pushing for a move away from the Serie A for a number of years now. His name is always mentioned. But according to a number of reports, this deal is now on. We're going to take a look into them. Of course, I want your thoughts, your feelings. Leave us your comments below. We'll also take a look at what the brilliant Fabrizio Romano has got to say. But either way, Arsenal fans, be excited. This is positive news. Arsenal Football Club are looking to improve, rejuvenate, and add a new profile of player into their midfield. Now, intriguing to me when I look at Milinkovic-Savic, I've said a number of times this summer that the links always kind of fly over my head because he's always linked to the Premier League. Primarily, it's been Manchester United for the past 4 summers without fail, from the age of sort of 22, 23 until now at 27 years of age. Now, there were some reports that came out of Italy yesterday that claimed that Arsenal had made a £47 million bid for the player, of which had been rejected. Interestingly, those rumours have been corroborated by the Standard. Now, the Standard have claimed that Arsenal could now return with a second bid somewhere in the region of £65 million, so increasing by around 10 million. 7 to 8 million pounds, as it were, somewhere in the mid 50 million pound marks. And there is a belief that Lazio could be tempted to agree this deal. Now, we know Arsenal have been looking at Youri Tielemans. We're going to get onto Fabrizio's update on that a little bit later. Before we do that, I want to introduce you to our title sponsors. You know who they are. It's private internet access. You should not be using the internet, especially in public places, without a VPN, without someone securing your data and ensuring hackers are not getting close to it. Your card details, your address, your personal information, you need to make sure that's protected. There's also a fun side to the VPNs. You get to surf the internet with complete security. It maintains your stream and Wi-Fi quality for longer, and you can get your content anywhere around the world. No regional blocks, no problems, no issues. There's lots of fun stuff you can do with it as well. Scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in our description below. I already know this number, which is amazing. Over 400 of you have already signed up and utilized the 3 months free and the 180-day money-back guarantee that they provide. So thank you very much indeed for doing that, and well done for securing yourselves. Now, what's intriguing is the Mirror have run with this story today that Sergej Milinkovic-Savic bid made and Youri Tielemans' interest revived. What are Arsenal going to look to do around their midfield? How are Arsenal going to look to improve this area? Now, a new midfielder is very much on the agenda, and Fabio Vieira, of course, has already arrived. Youri Tielemans was very much put upon that back burner. But Arsenal kind of went on after new targets. You had the situation with Lisandro Martinez, which is still ongoing. Updates expected out of that soon. A result expected from that very, very soon. Ajax are loving it. They're getting more money than they may have got if it just Arsenal and Man United been in that alone. Arsenal got a great chance there. Of course, the Rafinha deal, Arsenal have still got their foot in the door, but it's very likely he goes Barca. If not Barca, then Chelsea. Arsenal know they're third in the pecking order there, so they're very unlikely to get him. Where else are they going to reinvest that money? Are Arsenal going to go for another attacker, or will they reinvest the money elsewhere? Could it be in the midfield that they improve things? Will it be a situation of Youri Tielemans and Milinkovic-Savic? Most would probably say very unlikely after the signing of Fabio Vieira. but maybe it's Milinkovic-Savic and not Youri Tielemans. One of the things, and this is just my thoughts on this, and we'll see what Fabrizio says in a minute, but my thought was very much the calling of Youri Tielemans was sort of pushed out there as because we're going to look at other targets, as in Rafinha and Lisandro Martinez. There's a thought in my mind that thinks maybe they're going to try the market for some players they thought maybe a little bit better before they finalize their deal, of course, for Youri Tielemans. And I'll tell you as to why I think that a little bit later. But let's check out here what Fabrizio Romano has had to say about the situation. Now, he claims that Arsenal were pushing to sign Youri Tielemans ahead of Milinkovic-Savic because he would become more than, it would be £40 million cheaper than the Lazio star, as the Leicester midfielder's expiring contract sees his price tumble to £25 million. And of course, this throws a complete and utter different perspective onto the situation with Youri Tielemans. And that's what we like to do on the Football Terrace, is give you all the angles and all the stories being reported. £25 million, 35-40 is what was being quoted as a price for Youri Tielemans not too long ago. Maybe Arsenal's approach here is to try and drive that price down further, make Leicester a little bit more desperate. Right now, nobody else is making any concrete inquiries or attempts to sign Youri Tielemans. There's no bidding war that's going on. Nobody fighting for his signature, giving Arsenal a hell of a lot of control and power in this situation. Now, of course, if Milinkovic-Savic ends up costing 65-70 million pounds, that's vastly more expensive than Youri Tielemans. Is he double? Is he almost 3 times as good as Youri Tielemans? The jury is still very much out on that. You're all going to have a difference of opinion, but I think most people would agree he's not twice as good. He certainly isn't 3 times better than the player. But is he better? That'd be the big question here. Like, is he better? Is that what Arsenal are looking for? I think Fabrizio goes on to say here that Arsenal are pressing ahead with their attempts to sign the midfielder, having already agreed personal terms. So speaking here on his podcast for Football 365, journalist Fabrizio Romano said that Arsenal have identified Tielemans ahead of Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, owing the Belgium is £40 million cheaper. Meanwhile, the Serbian Milinkovic-Savic is well admired across the footballing world and is well touted for a move by the Italian press, but it is made complicated by his price tag. So it's very much the price tag that could be the problem here, which maybe is why Arsenal was chancing their arm. But I'll go back to Tielemans. Maybe Arsenal look at it like, we're probably going to have to pay a little bit more than 25 million for the Youri Tielemans, and we think we might be able to get Milinkovic-Savic a little bit cheaper. You know, maybe creating a difference of only 25 million pounds. And if they think Milinkovic-Savic is a better player, it makes sense to go in for him first. But what Arsenal will do is clever. I don't think you will see Wheatley, Charles Watts, anyone serious at football.london, Ornstein. You'll see none of them report on Milinkovic-Savic unless it's actually going to happen. When I say actually going to happen, I don't mean on, I don't mean active, I don't mean possible. If they start to make progression, if Arsenal start to get the deal to a price which they deem acceptable, if they're willing to move on from the Youri Tielemans to him publicly, the public approach compared to the private approach is important for one major reason. You don't want to piss Youri Tielemans off. You don't want to frustrate Youri Tielemans. If all the big boys start reporting on it, you can't deny it. There's no PR out of it. There's no, Youri Tielemans was always our number one target. And that's been the approach Arsenal have gone for on a number of deals. They bid first for Buendia and they don't get him. They move on to Odegaard. But the way their tier ones report on it is Odegaard was always the number one. That way, the story and the narrative is good. And all football clubs try this, by the way. It's not exclusive to Arsenal, but we're just talking about Arsenal. And I don't think it's a bad approach. Most fans see through it. We know the truth. But often we'll bury our heads in the sand as football fans and back our football clubs. And why the hell not? It's not really a problem. So these Milinkovic-Savic rumours are interesting because the bid is being reported. Now, whether they're official bids or verbal bids or text bids or WhatsApp bids, I don't give a damn. No one should care. They're bids. Arsenal appear to be looking to sign him. Is he a better player than Youri Tielemans? Probably. Is he worth spending an extra 15, 20, 25 million pounds on? Yes, he probably is. But when you get into the realms of the 40, 50 million pound plus, he isn't that much better. I think this is an excellent ploy by Arsenal to keep the price of Youri Tielemans low, to put a little bit of pressure on maybe Youri Tielemans and say, listen, come get me, please. But equally, you're fishing for a better player and you're trying to drive that price down. At this moment in time, with the way Arsenal are approaching this, it is very much win-win. Arsenal fans should be enthused. Arsenal fans should be excited. Arsenal fans should be looking at this and thinking, I like the way my club's operating. Now, they've got to get these deals done. They can't allow too many deals to fall through their fingers. Rafinha's been one of them. We'll see what happens. There should be a big update later on today regarding Lisandro Martinez, and we'll see what's kind of taking place in that space. But overall, this is a good piece of business. As confirmed by the Mirror, bid made. As confirmed by the Italian outlets, bid made. As confirmed by the Standard, bid made, and maybe a new approach going in. Now, Fabrizio is going along the notions of they'll probably be pushing for Yuri Tielemans over him, but who knows the way the cookie crumbles. And there's also the opposite side of this. Let's just say another team does come in for Yuri and they take him away. Arsenal have got to have their finger on the pulse ready for an alternative, even if he is more expensive. So as I've said, this approach is win-win for Arsenal. You've got Yuri Tielemans in the bag. Why not try and shop for something a little bit better? If you put it off, you're winning. If you don't and you end up with Yuri Tielemans, it's still a player that's been a big priority that you've got in the bag who wants to join you. It's absolutely fantastic. Arsenal fans, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Smash the like and share button. Make sure, by the way, you're checking out private internet access. Scan the QR code now or click on the link in the description below. What are you waiting for? Stop surfing the internet with no protection. Take care. Goodbye.